Addy had said earlier that somebody had said to him that this was like the cooler, or sorry, not the cooler, the private sector world spring meetings, World Bank, and somebody just backstage said to me, what if we rebranded this the cooler World Bank spring meetings? And I said, well, what if we rebranded them the more boring global inclusive growth ones? I mean, we can throw this up for discussion later. So speaking of inclusive growth, I am so excited to bring to the stage two amazing women powerhouses, Linda Kirkpatrick, president of Mastercard of the Americas, and my compatriot, Cristina Junqueira, to the stage. Please give them a big round of applause.
Hello, everyone. I am so incredibly thrilled and honored to be joined today by a trailblazer in the financial inclusion space, Cristina Junqueira, co-founder and chief growth officer at Nubank, which for those of you who don't know, has absolutely taken the financial services world by storm. With a focus on financial inclusion, is now 10 years old. You celebrated your 10-year anniversary last year. And Cristina has been with Nubank from the very start, when it was just a vision, just a thought, just a vision for the future around reducing complexity for consumers and creating a better experience when it comes to access to financial services. And since the moment of that inception, that thought, that idea, Nubank is now 100 million customers strong across Brazil, Mexico, and Colombia. It is beloved. It is a brand that's beloved in the markets where they do business. And it is a fully digital bank. And so this journey from inception to reality, to bringing in financially underserved into the financial mainstream, and now competing with the top banks in Brazil, and being one of the largest financial platforms, digital financial platforms in Latin America, is a remarkable journey, and Cristina has been at the heart of that. So we are also interested to hear about this journey from your perspective. You left, just going back to 10 years ago, you left an incredibly successful career managing cards at the biggest bank in Brazil. And you did that for a very specific purpose, to create Nubank. Tell us more about what that decision-making looked like for you.
Sure, absolutely. Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here and share a little bit more about our story, which, as Linda mentioned, we do have a few things that we can share about what we've learned along the way. So yeah, if you rewind 10, 11 years, I guess, at this point, I had a good career. I was well evaluated. I was on track to continue to grow, working for one of the incumbent banks, the largest incumbent bank in Brazil. But when I looked into my future and I saw, some of the senior executives, well, to begin with, all men. I've never had a single woman above me ever in my life, right? Like as a boss or anyway. And I was like, well, if that's what success looks like here, I really don't want it. They were just so disconnected from the reality of the customers that they claimed that they wanted to help. And each and everything that we try to do on behalf of customers really didn't go forward, So that really frustrated me. And I quit my job thinking I was done with financial services, actually. I was like, well, if this is, and they were as good as it gets. They were the best one, right? So I'm like, what's the point? And that was when I met David, or my partner and Nubank's CEO and founder. And he was looking for somebody to partner with to get this vision to life of using technology, using design, using data to really remove that complexity, that small curtain that is often put in front of people, that prevent them from taking control of their financial lives and having their dignity of, really taking the reins of their lives. So we started off roughly 10 years ago, a little bit more. Started off, to your point, like there was, no money, no employees, no office, no brand, no nothing, to become today, I believe, the second largest market cap, for sure, financial institution in Latin America. We are close, but not quite there yet, to 100 million customers. We're on track soon to reach that milestone. And we're very profitable. We printed $1 billion in net income last year, which is amazing, And to your point on inclusion, which is the reason why we're all here, we never position ourselves as we're gonna be the bank for the underbanked, right? Like we're gonna serve. It made business sense, which is something that we were talking about earlier today, right? A lot of these opportunities for inclusion, they come with a big ROI. That's the reality, right? When we look into, especially economies that haven't, fully developed, when you look at emerging markets, there's so many people that are still unbanked or underbanked, and there's so much opportunity to grow access to credit, to grow inclusion, and also to make those markets more efficient, right? And just to share a few figures with you, in these 10 years, we estimate that we've included in the financial system over 20 million, I think the number is 21.6 million people that had never had a financial services product before, right? In 2022, thank you, yeah. In 2022 alone, one of the metrics that we're most proud of is we saved almost $8 billion in fees. So I know there's a big conversation in the US about junk fees. $8 billion in fees in 1 year we saved our customers. And that's money that has become food, healthcare, education, something else rather than a bank fee, right? So that was all done through using a lot of technology, having a much leaner cost structure that allows us to serve a lot of customers that weren't viable to financial institutions anymore, with products that are much cheaper, much more accessible, right? Mm-hmm. So that's where the return is coming from.
It's an incredible story, and you referenced the commercially viable solution. Often in the case of financial inclusion, you see the combination of public-private partnerships come together to create a 1 + 1 = 3, because in many instances, it's not commercially viable to do what you're doing and convert the financially underserved into the digital mainstream. But you did that and managed to make a commercial profit for the bank and continue to make a profit. So just talk a little bit about how you made that decision to go at it alone, and how you continue to drive a positive ROI for the bank while saving billions in dollars in fees.
Yeah, so we knew that we were competing against some of the biggest, most profitable, most powerful companies in the world, certainly in Brazil, right? Financial services is the largest industry, along with tech, everywhere. So we knew that we had to do something fundamentally different, and we knew that we had to be that more, not 10 or 20 or 30% more efficient. We needed to be 10, 20, 30, 40 times more efficient than they were, right? We would never be able to outspend them, if you think from a marketing standpoint. So we came at this with the perspective that we needed to build products that people would love, right? Like our number one company value is we want customers to love us fanatically. And I've shown you how that has materialized over the years. Like people do. We're one of the top 5 most valuable brands in Brazil today. Mm-hmm. And we're a love brand, to your point. But we did this coming from a customer point of view, right? Like we really sought after the pain that people were living through, all the complexity they needed to navigate, all the lack of transparency, all the bureaucracy, and we started just stripping that away. Using technology, again, being much more efficient, being much leaner, and that brought that really would help to spin this flywheel, right? Where we have better products, customers engage more, they refer more customers, we gain scale, we have lower costs, like lower cost structure. With that and more data, we can improve our products and so on, right? And that flywheel spins. So we've been benefiting from, doing the right thing for our customers since the beginning, and that effect compounds over time.
Yeah, that virtuous circle just continues to feed off of one another, right? So innovation, fully digital engagement is at the heart of everything that you do. It always has been from the start. You were digital first. Fast Company just named you one of the most innovative companies.
For the fourth time, I believe.
Well, yeah. Who's counting, huh?
Who's counting?
You are.
Since you're on it, so this just came out, I think, the day before yesterday. Forbes has this annual survey that they do around the world. We were named #1 bank in Brazil and in Mexico.
How about that?
This year.
Wow.
And that's on consumer preference.
Really something to be proud of. And so a topic that has come up many, many times today, technology and AI will continue to shape future differentiation for brands like yours. What are some of the products that you're ideating today from a technology perspective that you think will be the next click on what consumers are looking for? I know you're highly into the safety and security space. One of the features that I love is something called Street Mode, where someone can actually change the settings on their phone when they're away from a trusted Wi-Fi site. They can change the financial controls within your app. A beautiful example of how you're empowering consumers to not be afraid of fraud, but actually embrace it and do something about it. What's the next click on that?
So as you said, AI, everyone's talking about it, and it's really a transformational technology. We've been at the forefront of every technology shift. We were mobile first when, 11 years ago, I guess, when we started, when no one was. We have always been cloud first, right? So we did leverage all the cloud computing technology. And with AI, it's been the same thing. We're really positioning ourselves to be AI first. So each and every technology that we can use to continue to drive efficiency, whether that's from a cost standpoint or from a value proposition and feature standpoint, for our customers, is certainly in our interest, and we're going to be leaning on. To your point, safety is a big concern these days everywhere. As we were talking backstage, everyone has gone digital, including organized crime, right? So these guys are now we have very bad actors exploiting, using technology, even AI, even generative AI. To exploit any vulnerabilities, and even social engineering, right? Techniques to exploit customers to lose money. So we've been deploying heavily, technology to help people protect from that. You've mentioned Street Mode, but there are many other features that we've deployed into our, whether those are fraud prevention models or behavior tracking, authentication features that we have to actually understand that the customer is him or herself, authorizing a transaction. But it's something that goes well beyond fraud prevention, right? One of the things that we want to do is to make viable a personal banker for every customer, which is something that the wealthy have access to, and help them better manage their cash flow, make better financial decisions. In our case, we want every single person to have access to that. No matter how much they have on their savings account or how much credit they have, we want them to have the best possible advice and information to help them make the best decisions at any point in time.
I love that. Empowering every individual with the same guidance and advice as anyone, as a wealthy individual, affluent individual could have access to. Amazing. Today is an exciting day. Mastercard, as many of you know, is an exclusive partner with Nubank, and we're very proud of the relationship that we've had with you over the past several years. We launched a new piece of research today, which was very intriguing. It was a measure of financial health, from access to health, sort of that continuum, and what it takes to get from just getting access to financial instruments to achieving financial health. And one of the things that struck me was that persistent and consistent access to digital tools and responsible use of digital tools are a better indicator of financial health than income. Yeah. That, to me, is pretty profound. How will you use this research to inform your strategy going forward?
Yeah, so this really validates something that we've always thought about that is related to financial inclusion, which is financial education, right? It's very important. It's not enough to include people, but you actually need to allow them to make good decisions, right? Better decisions. And the way that we think about this is, sure, we have a lot of financial education content that we make it very digestible, bite-sized, sure. But we like to believe that the way things work should educate people and should help them make better decisions, you know? So that has always been the philosophy, the way that we design our products, like the way that we design even the hiring flows for you to make a decision to hire a loan and the type of information that you'll see. All that is financial education for us, right? So to your point on what the report validated is going through those digital experiences, those digital journeys can be so informative, and using those products and engaging with those products will get you to a better state in terms of having responsible use of financial products than just income, right? Like than just being, just having more disposable income or being wealthier. So we're truly believers in how we do things matters, right? And I think this validates that. The other thing is just shines a light on the value, again, of educating people through this journey, not just including, right? Like inclusion is the first step, but certainly not enough.
Absolutely. Well, Cristina, I have to say, I just want to thank you, first of all, personally, as someone who's gotten to know you as a friend and as a, a partner in this journey. It's just been an absolute pleasure to work with you, and I'm super excited about what's to come. And I just want to thank you for being disruptive, for challenging the norm, and for being the female inspiration for other entrepreneurs to follow. You are incredible. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.